All we got is us look down the bench like it's championship or bust. Next man up. All we got is us look
Peace,
down the
y'all.
bench.
Peace, and power to you. Welcome to Bucket for Bucket podcast. I am your host, Rem, back with another one here to discuss NBA playoffs with you. It was another good one last night. We only had one game on the slate, but it was dope. Before we get into it and our other topics, I want us to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, turn on your notifications for Bucket podcast. Follow us at B4 Bucket podcast on all platforms. That'll be TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff. And check out your host, Remedy, aka Rem, at Real Remedy Music on all platforms as well. Like I said, this ain't gonna be a long episode. It's gonna be a quick one, a short one. We just discussing last night. Last night was a pretty decent game for Atlanta versus the Celtics. Like I said, the Celtics would win, and they did. They pulled through. It was a really good game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. DeJounte, Trae Young, they played their hearts out. They were in Atlanta. We already know what happened. Game 5 for Trae Young to go off and kind of, force the series into Game 6, which we were all shocked that it even got here. I thought it'll be a sweep, gentleman sweep top, but they definitely pulled through. Atlanta showed some resolve and showed that they might have some success in the near future, especially with their new coach Quinn Snyder, who did an amazing job taking over like less than half of the season left. And we'll see how it goes over there for Atlanta. But they lost. Boston went up 128 to 120. They had big performances from Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has been averaging a double-double. He's been tearing the glass down. He had 14 boards last night, along with 7 assists. He was flirting with a triple-double. He had 30 points. He was plus 11 from the field. And then you got Jaylen Brown. I think this was maybe their second time scoring 30 points together in the playoffs, which is crazy. They've had a lot of great playoff runs together and finals appearances, but 32 from Jaylen Brown and a plus 7 from the field. He also added 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Jason Tatum had 2 blocks and a steal as well too, which was pretty good. Showed that they were playing defense. Al Horford got to it with a double-double, 10 and 12, eliminating his old team in his old stomping grounds. He usually plays well against them, and got some big performances off the bench from their 6-man Malcolm Brogdon, who added 17, and obviously Marcus Smart with his 22. Real quick with the Hawks, Trae Young went for 30, but he shot horribly, especially from 3. He shot 4 for 12, which is really not that bad, 33%, but he shot 9 for 28 from the field. He shot 32% from the field, and he was like an abysmal 1 for 13 in the second half and going into the fourth quarter. DeJounte Murray was the opposite. Trae Young started the game. He started the game 18 points in the first quarter. He started the game hot. DeJounte Murray went completely scoreless in the first half, which is a no-go, especially an elimination game in the playoffs. They were unable to pull through, and they have gone fishing. Bye-bye, 1-2-3 Cancun to the Atlanta Hawks. You already know we don't mess with them like that. We Knicks fans over here, so that's all I got to say about the Hawks, really. And now you already know what happens. Our predictions are live. What we said in episode 2 or episode 1, we said we wanted these historic matchups. We wanted Miami and New York, which we got. We got Miami and New York coming this Sunday. And then we got Boston versus the 76ers, which is also a great rivalry in itself. I mean, the Celtics have won the better end of that rivalry, like single-handedly. Like they definitely are up on that. But second round is set. Philly versus Boston. Boston has home court advantage. I want to remind you that these teams have met these teams have met each other 21 times in the postseason. A lot of times in the conference finals. And the winner would usually go on to go to the finals. Obviously, that's how the conference finals works. But you know how many trophies the Celtics hoisted. In the 80s, it definitely got a little chippy. A lot of battles and stuff like that. Philly definitely did get a couple of W's in, but the 21 times Boston has won 14 out of those 21 times. Philly has only won 7 times. And now they are going to face each other for the 22nd time this postseason. And we'll see exactly what these matchups go for. It's going to be huge. I don't know what to expect. But I do think this could possibly go to 7 games. Embiid is going to be wearing a knee brace. I know he had some knee issues against the Nets first round, but he's also had some rest. So I hope he's been resting and getting back into full productivity so that he could have a great series. And he's probably going to be the MVP of this league. We all know that. He's most likely going to be the MVP. But has he exhausted all his energy in those MVP efforts? And does he have anything left in the tank to go at it with these Celtics? The season matchup, the Celtics won 3-1, but this is the second season. Like I said, we don't really mess with season stats like that because this is a second season. Playoffs is a completely different game, guys. It's a completely different ball game. So just because a team might have looked crazy in the regular season, don't sleep. The Milwaukee Bucks definitely handled Miami in the season, and we know the story. The Orlando Magic handled the Celtics this season, and they not in the playoffs. The Knicks handled the Celtics this season, and we don't know what to think of that. But not even jumping the gun or anything. It's just these are 2 different seasons. You gotta keep your eye on the prize and just play the matchups, play the coaches. So this one we got Doc Rivers versus Joe Mazzulla, and this we already know. Like Celtics have done some stuff to kind of make you lose trust in them sometimes because you kind of like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this against a lesser team? And obviously, Joe Mazzulla has never been here before. He's been there as an assistant, obviously, to Ime Udoka, but we'll see if he's cut from that cloth to go ahead and take these guys all the way because, look, Atlanta gave them the trouble that we didn't think was going to happen, and call a spade a spade. Some of those was coaching decisions. Quinn Snyder looked like he might have been the better coach in that series, despite them losing. So we don't know what to expect from Joe Mazzulla, and we'll see what happens exactly. But Boston versus Philly, we are going to see that. I'm not too sure when that starts. I don't know if it's Saturday, maybe Sunday, but most likely Saturday. But we'll see how that goes. We just know it's going to be an exciting series, a chippy series. We want to see what Harden will bring to the table. Harden is a much older Harden, but also Harden hasn't had playoff success. We want to see what Harden is going to do and how this is going to end up. But best of luck to Philly. Best of luck to Boston. Hate them both. Like I said, it's a Knicks nation. But we'll see how that goes. Either way, we're going to get something historic in the conference finals. We're going to get a rivalry. We're going to get something. So shout out to the NBA. Shout out to everybody for that. It's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. Tonight we got 2 huge games tonight. We got 2 game 6s tonight. And we are hoping that the home teams could pull it through. We got the Golden State Warriors. Now we're gonna start with the Lakers because that's the first game. We got the Lakers and the Grizzlies first, and then we got the Warriors and the Kings. I'm gonna tell y'all now, Laker fans, if y'all do not pull through tonight and close this out, y'all going home because I don't have any faith in y'all to go back to Memphis and win in Memphis when they have all of the momentum. Y'all need to take the momentum that y'all got and y'all need to win with the home court advantage that y'all now secured by beating Memphis on their home court. Y'all need to do it. Y'all need to do it because like I said, if this goes to game 7, look for this series to be over at the hands of the Memphis Grizzlies. They're going to come and they're going to come correct. And guess what? We're going to have a whole bunch of chirp. And we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear the Grizzlies talk. We want them to be humbled. We want them to go back into their corners and go hibernate, Grizzlies. Go chill. Go hibernate and think about what you guys have done. All right, this season and all of the shit y'all spoke. Think about that. That's what we want them to do. We want them to go sit down and repent and to just stay out the way while the grown men play ball and the grown men battle. All right, so that's what we want, honestly. But like I said, Lakers, if y'all do not pull it off tonight, y'all are packing it up in the first round, unfortunately, and y'all need to win tonight. So we need a big game from not only LeBron, from Anthony Davis, and White Mamba, Austin Reeves. You gotta go to work, him. You gotta go to work, and y'all need to pull this through. As far as Golden State and the Kings, I think Golden State took their soul the other day. They took their soul with that away win, and the veterans, that experience, it showed you everything. That experience came out, and they showed you why they are the defending champions. The Warriors should win tonight. They better win tonight. But even if they don't, and there's a Game 7, I'm still gonna go with the experience that they will pull through and beat the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento, clap it up. There will be no more lighting of beams. There will be no more lighting of beams, but y'all did really great this season. Shout out to Mike Brown, Coach of the Year. Shout out to everything he has done for that Sacramento organization and bringing them back to relevance. They are a great team. They're a really good team, and they have the younger pieces that are going to get older. The Davion Mitchells, the Aaron Fox, his coming out party was this year, so it looks really good for them. So the future's bright, but like I said, we want both of these teams to win tonight so we could just advance to the second round and get this over with. We want to see the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Golden State Warriors. We want to see the Denver Nuggets versus the Phoenix Suns, honestly. So let's just get to it, man. Let's get to it. Do what y'all got to do tonight, and let's go, okay? So my predictions for tonight are that the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers win. Again, I said I'm going to preface this by saying, if the Lakers do not win tonight, this series is over. Grizzlies will be sending them home. Mark my words. Lakers, y'all need to win tonight. Those are my predictions for the second round. Before I go, I do want to talk about two things, because you already know Bucket for Bucket. We love the WNBA. We're going to be talking a lot of WNBA this season. Their season is starting in a couple weeks, but we had a huge sighting, and that was Brittany Griner. We just want to, Bucket for Bucket podcast wants to say welcome home to Brittany. Glad to have you back. Glad to see you smiling, laughing it up with everyone, making light of everything that you've been through, which is tough, but also advocating for the people who are still wrongfully detained, and just using your platform, using your light and your power just to spread awareness, positivity, and get back on that court. It's going to be nice to see you back on the court with Diana Taurasi and team. Y'all team is not that lit like y'all was a couple years ago, but it's just nice to have her back and just to see you doing your thing. And it's amazing. So congratulations to Brittany Griner. Let's clap it up for her. And just hope she has a great, healthy season. And, is just able to enjoy this time and just be grateful for everything. Really, really awesome. Really awesome to see that. And then the last thing I want to speak about is that Giannis interview. I know a lot of y'all were talking about it. A lot was being spoken about. There's so many people on two sides of this. There's the people who are like, nah, he failed. And then there's people who's like, oh my God, I have humility for him. He's the best face of this league and so and so. Okay, whatever. I get it. I see this is different because it's like he was 100% right. He was 100% right. But what I do want to say is that it triggered him. There are trigger words. When you're speaking to people, not just players, interviewers, the media needs to understand. And I feel like the media knows this as well because they like to get reactions out of people. But there are trigger words that trigger people to act a certain way and that might bring back either PTSD. There's just trigger words. And the word fail and failure was a trigger word for Giannis, and that's exactly why he responded the way he responded. Disappointment was probably a better word to use, but the word that he used was failure. Giannis is upset. He lost the series after them being the number 1 seed, them being the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference, and then he played 11 minutes in Game 1. If you want to tell me anything about the 11 minutes he played and that didn't play a factor, the fact that Giannis got injured in Game 1 like that is the reason why we are sitting here. The reason why the Heat were able to advance. I do not believe a healthy Milwaukee Bucks is going to lose in 5 games to the Miami Heat that we saw this year. It's crazy. No knock on Jimmy, no knock on the Heat, but we're not expecting to see that. One thing that I want to say is that you can't look at it. So the definition of failure, let's talk about that. Failure, an act or instance of failing or proving unsuccessful, lack of success. Are the Milwaukee Bucks unsuccessful? Do they have a lack of success? No, they don't. They're not unsuccessful. They were the number 1 seed this year. They have a championship within the last 5 years, the first ever, and they've won. They know what it's like. They know what it's like. They know what it's like. Non-performance or something due required or expected. So the non-performance of something due required or expected. Failure in the sense of, yes, you guys failed because you guys didn't make it to the finals, which everyone was pretty much expecting. Not just the finals, the conference finals, which everyone was expecting. A subnormal quantity or quality in insufficiency. You guys were insufficient. You guys definitely, it's part of it. You guys failed in terms of the winning aspect, but it's the same thing as ignorance. Calling somebody ignorant isn't a bad thing. Ignorant is the lack of knowledge. You're unaware of something, so you can be ignorant. Just like I'm ignorant on certain things that I don't know, I'm ignorant on that. And Giannis, you failed in the sense of you failed to achieve what your goal was this year, but that does not make you a failure at all, Giannis. That does not make you all a failure. But I love the humility, how he kept calm, how he wanted to explode, but he kept calm throughout that, and I think it worked out better for them because we got a great soundbite, we got a lot of conversation, and we're gonna probably change the vernacular, we're gonna probably change the perception of how things are, because honestly, this is sports. These guys make millions of dollars on and off the court. None of them are failures. None of them are failures. You can't be a failure to play a game for millions of dollars. No way you failed. No way you failed that life. There's no way you failed that life. You're playing a game. You're dribbling a ball for millions of dollars. So, look, to each his own with however you want to look at it. I know Shaq is like, oh, it was a failure for me if I didn't win for the 16 seasons I didn't win. And so, bruh, yeah, you're one of the most famous people on earth, and like you're not a failure and stuff like that. So we definitely have to change. I know we're softening up a little bit, but we have to change our tone, the way that we think and speak on things. And Giannis has helped us bring that to light and bring some humility and humbleness in the way that we carry ourselves and speak to ourselves and speak, just speaking to ourselves in general. So definitely got to think about that. This one is a little bit long overdue. I didn't mean to go this long, but again, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me, vibing out with me, and we talking Bucket for Bucket podcast, and we talking the NBA playoffs. Guess what? I have a fun episode coming up for y'all. We gonna call this one Blood in the Garden, just like the book. We gonna call it Blood in the Garden because we are going to highlight the Heat and the Knicks series, and we are gonna take it back. We're gonna rewind before we look ahead, and it's gonna be great. But without ado, like I said, it's your boy Rem. Follow me at Real Remedy Music on all platforms. You can follow us at B4Bucket Podcast on all platforms. Please hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Peace.
We got is us look down the bench like a championship or bust. Next man up. All we got is us look down the bench like a championship or bust. Next man up. Yeah. The strong survive, the will to rise. Get rich or die. I kill for mine. Look in my eyes. Get out the lane. You see the drive. If this a game of thrones, that make me catch a bone. I'm cold. My name is Stone. Born winner. Now all you gotta do is trust. Look at the bench, yo, the championship a must. We like next man up. They ain't training hard as me, those 2 a days I hardly sleep. Suicides me 3 a week, but it's just me because they sleep. Roll 2 and P, I'm siphon like it's 2